Hello and welcome back. In this episode we are going to be looking at a longer video, and that's going to be on JavaScript functions. So should be fun. I'll get started. Obviously you'll see what I'm doing while I'm watching the video, and at the end I will explain what I have learned. So see you in a bit.
Was it the voice? Was it the fire burning in me? All of the noise turned into choirs of harmony. Left me with the pieces of forever that you broke. But since you left me alone, I've been high.
Okay guys, welcome back. So, this was a complex one. What have we done? Well, first of all, let's go what we have done. Let me clear this. I said clear all of it. So, we have functions. So there's two ways of making our own, our own variables basically, that do what we want, kind of. So for instance, or kind of our own functions. One way is by saying function and say hello. So that's the actual function name, and these brackets means that function is the say hello is actual function, and the brackets mean that we're like enacting upon them functions. And then we want to define what this say hello function does. So then we have console log. So in the console log we will get the word hello. So if we were gonna write say hello as we did here into our console or here, then we get hello. Another way of doing this is by having a variable, because functions are variables, and saying variable say by is a function, and that function has a is basically telling you by. So this way the actual function, so we are defining the function as being say by. So when you say by, it's a bit more limited in a way. I'm not exactly certain which way, but I know it's basically you don't. It's like the name is not invisible, but you could potentially put a function name of by here, and that would allow you to also say by as the actual function name. And then we have this thing called, so we could do something, for instance, function, and then sing, and then acting on sing, and then saying, you know, this is what sing is. So this is the action for the sing is console log ah and ba. Just like saying like ah ba, I don't know. Anyway, and then this is a lot easier way of doing it, in which you can say function sing2. I just made it sing2 just so it was, you know, separated from the two. And then we have song, and then afterwards we have song. So this way we put on in a console log just the song. So basically that way you can say sing2, and then we can say this is the song and we want this. So when we say sing2 and then you know, brackets, hyphens, and you know, blah di da, blah di da, then it's going to go back up to the function 2, say okay, so we're doing the action song, and what is the action song? It's going to be put into the console log, and that's a lot easier way of actually you know, doing that. Then this needs that hurts. Anyway, so we have functions, and we can do a function of a multiply. So for instance, we can multiply A and B. Oh god, I'm sneezing. So basically I've made this a lot more complex than it needs to be, just so I can show you all the steps that we can do. So we can have if and else, and if else if, you know, statements in our functions. You know, obviously you're using these little parameters and whatnot, and we can say, for instance, if A or B is greater than 10, then return that's too hard. The return means that we actually get information back. So basically in JavaScript this, or like in function, but I think maybe also in JavaScript as well, you have two options. Either you do a function and you tell it, you know, to multiply, for instance. You tell it to multiply, and then you have A and then B, just the way it's here. You might not actually get, you wouldn't actually get the actual answer. For that you would just get undefined, because it's not actually returning the answer to you. So if you select, if you do write return, then it will return what you know is appropriate. So if it's greater than, both either of the numbers are greater than 10, and that's going to be too hard. Else, so if that's not the case, then we're going to return A times B. However, you see we have return A and B, which are just, you know, extra steps. But when you actually put these in, these two won't be enacted at all, because basically if A or B is greater than 10, then it will be returned, and it will not consider any of the following lines as it's as in the JavaScript's, you know, mind. The task is already done, because it has returned the first answer that, you know, was adequate basically. However, if, you know, that's not the case, then we go on to else, and then returning the A times B. But you would never actually have return A or return B. I want to put them there just so I can demonstrate that this is, you know, the case, and that's why we have to, you know, make sure to only have one return, or have it separated by ifs and else's. And then second to last we have alerts, and then inside, so this is a way of doing, you know, what we have just done, alerts, and then we have a multiply. So the multiply is inside the alert, and inside that we have free-form. So when it reads this line, it would be like, oh, we're going to have to alert something in the actual site, and then it's going to be like, okay, so we're going to use the multiply. Oh, where's this? Well, this, I think, yeah, it shows up. Multiply is actually here. So it's going to be like, okay, so we're going to do the function of multiply A and B, and it's going to go through all of this, then it's going to find the closest thing that can find, which is going to be return A times B. So it's going to plug that answer in there, and it's going to alert it to us. So if we actually run all of this, then we get 12 as the answer for the multiply. You get hello from the first one, bye from the second one, because we said say hi, say bye, blah blah blah, and hello there. So for us to actually get the sing function, we have to say sing, and then what will we actually say? This and that one, and nothing else inside. So if we refresh, then we would actually get the A and the ba and some error, which is this, because obviously this is just something I put down at last minute, which basically means that in functions we have, or in JavaScript and functions as well, I think, we have two different ideas. We have parameters and arguments. So arguments are what's inside the brackets. So I know that for multiply, these 3 and 4 are the arguments, and I think for the alert, multiply is the argument. But we also have parameters, which are the actual containers for the arguments, which could be things like A and B, which are not defined. They can be a 3, they can be a 4, they can be a 5. So basically that's everything. So if we delete that and refresh this, we shouldn't get an alert. All good. So that was a bit long, so I will leave it at that. But fun things, a lot of new language that we have learned. So fun things, and all good. So see you in the next one then. Bye bye.